Hey guys, this is Shannon with Nearly Organic Noshing, and today I'm going to talk about meatloaf. Now, you can get so creative with how you cook your meatloaf. I'm sure in the store you have seen meatloaf packets like this. This has all the seasoning you need in the packet. And if you look on the back, it gives you detailed directions and what you need. You need a packet of seasoning mix, 2 pounds of ground beef or turkey, 2 eggs lightly beaten, a half a cup milk, 1/4 cup dry breadcrumbs or 1 cup of soft breadcrumbs, like 2 slices of bread, half a cup ketchup or chili sauce or tomato sauce, okay? And then it gives you the directions on how to do it. And if you just follow the directions, then you can make this. Now, if you do not have this, and you want to make a meatloaf, you can substitute other things. You can use a brown gravy mix. This has a lot of the same seasonings as what is in your meatloaf mix. Or you can use an onion soup mix. That has a lot of the same seasonings that is in the meatloaf mix. Or you can just look to your spice cabinet. It's so rare I use these. I have these up there just because I've probably found them for on clearance for 25 cents each or something and put them up there. Now I do use these in a lot of recipe. The brown gravy, I get those from Aldi's, but things like this I hardly ever have, but I had one up in the cabinet, so I thought I'd pull it out. These are a lot of the basic ingredients that you would put in meatloaf. There's onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, minced onion, celery seed. I like Worcestershire. That's just what you need seasoning wise. And of course, salt and pepper. And it's purely to taste. The other thing is you need something to bind your meatloaf together. Some people like to use crackers. Some people like to use cornflakes. I didn't have any cornflakes to show you cornflakes, but a lot of people do. They use cornflakes to make meatloaf stick together or meatballs. You can use crackers. These are just saltine crackers you can crunch up. This is the seasoned stuffing mix. It's essentially breadcrumbs. Oatmeal. A lot of people put oatmeal in their meatloaf. This is just bread. You can just toast this and crumble it up or cube it up. You can use panko or you can buy the breadcrumbs that are in containers like this. Whatever you have on hand, you don't have to be locked into doing it one specific way. I suggest if you've never made one that maybe you go get a mix and follow the directions on the mix just to see what it's supposed to look like and how it's supposed to go together. But you can get super, super creative with your meatloaf. So today, just to show you how to follow along one of these meatloaf mixes, I have my meat right here. It's all defrosted. And I'm going to work my way down the back of exactly what I need. And we're going to do it just like this meatloaf pack. Okay guys, if I did not mention it, you can mix and match whatever ground meat you want. Some people like turkey, some people like pork, some people like beef. You can mix it up. I personally love to mix turkey and pork together. Some people like venison and pork. This is just ground beef because it is what I had in the refrigerator at the moment. So I have my meat and we're going to look at the directions. So first we're going to need to add our meat and our packet of seasoning mix. So I'm going to dump our seasoning mix in here. You can see what that is. And then next it calls for 2 eggs slightly beaten, which I've already put 2 eggs in here and beat them up. So I'm going to add these in. And next, our directions call for half a cup of milk. Milk is not something I normally put in mine when I do it from scratch, but this is what the mix calls for, so that is what we'll do. Added to that, we need a 1/4 cup of dry breadcrumbs or 1 cup of soft breadcrumbs. So here are my 1/4 cup of dry, and I'm going to put that in. And the last thing it calls for is a half a cup of ketchup or chili sauce, but we are not going to use that yet. You're going to use that on top. Now, I have a glove on because I'm just going to put my hands in here and smush it up. And I don't do well. When I touch raw meat, it makes me break out. So I use a glove for that, not because it grosses me out or anything, but because it just makes me all itchy. And nobody wants to see that. So you can just get your hand in here and start smushing it all up so that all the ingredients get really, really well incorporated all together. You don't want to be able to see any egg mixture or milk sitting on the surface or any of the dry ingredients. You want everything mixed in really well, and I'll come back when I've done that. Okay, I have my mixture super mixed really, really well, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it into a greased pan, glass or metal. You can use just about any kind, any size. If you don't have a rectangle pan, that's okay. Use a circle. Use whatever you have. And now I'm just gonna flatten it all out. Okay guys, and the last step before you bake it, it calls for putting a half a cup of ketchup on top. Now, when I do this from scratch, I don't just put ketchup like this. I usually mix it and season it up. I like adding brown sugar or a little bit of dry mustard, but we're doing this first one just like the directions. And so just to give you an idea that if you go and you buy it from the store, this is how you do it. And then that way you'll have tried it a couple of times with a mix and will not be so intimidated, and you can get creative and start mixing your own seasonings together. All right, I'm gonna get this all smeared around and even on top, and then you bake it at 375 until cooked through. Takes usually about an hour in a regular oven, but I'm going to use my convection oven, so it'll go a little bit faster, but it needs to be cooked all the way through, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay guys, this is what it looks like in the pan. Don't be alarmed if you have extra liquid and stuff around the edges. If you use a meat that is higher in fat, you're going to have that. So you can just pour it off if you don't like it, or you can use it and make gravy or something like that. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get this cut and dished up and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, I have it all dished up. So this is what it looks like. It's cooked all the way through. It has a little glaze on top. I personally like to mix tomato sauce with like brown sugar and a little bit of garlic. I think it just gives it better flavor, but this was following the directions, so you know what it looks like if you follow the directions exactly. I suggest you get creative and try things you want. Throw other flavors in there, throw some Worcestershire, whatever, get creative. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a comment in the section down below, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. All right, have a great night. We're gonna go enjoy some dinner.